Buenas tardes, welcome to my channel Better Monday Fasting. In this video I'll be talking about oxalate dumping, something that I just discovered this week. And so anything I share in this video and on the channel, it's not medical advice, so please do your own research before making any health related decisions. And maybe your research may start with this video, but you should be the only one who's making decisions about your health. So last week I posted a video about my ketogenic diet, and because I was experiencing some rashes around the neck area, and so I made a video. The video is called Keto the End ? So I was wondering if I had reached the limits of keto, and as soon as I posted the video, somebody commented and said, you're having oxalate dumping, and recommend me a video of German and Sally Norton. So I watched the video, and yeah, I learned a lot of things. Like, it's just it's actually it's putting everything like in a new perspective for me. So to give you a background on myself in terms of health, in 2016 I discovered fasting, and it was like a game changer for me. Like, I started fasting, and after I completed like each fasting session, I would like feel better. So I kept fasting and fasting and fasting, like, and to the point where it totally like changed my life. Like, first, like the first change was physical. I started feeling better, but then I started making better decisions, and also I started facing some spiritual challenges, and the first thing I faced was more like that I wasn't happy where I was in life and in Europe, and so I faced it, and that was great, because then I moved to Latin America in 2017. So I made the big jump, and since then fasting has been like guiding me through life. And so feeling better, like each year after I started fasting, I'm feeling younger, I have more energy. So there's that aspect. Also making better decisions. It's been guiding me in that sense. And in terms of diets, it's like when I first started fasting, I started with a raw diet, and I did it for almost like 9 months or so, if I'm not mistaken. I did a raw diet, and then I kind of reached a plateau, and I think also it was like winter time in Argentina. So then I would do some like vegetarian, like I will avoid animal products. So I don't want to say the word because I don't like the ideology of that movement, but so I wouldn't consume animal products. But that I will always reach a plateau after 2-3 months. Like all the diets I've embraced, they always worked well, especially at the beginning. But then with all of them, like I will hit like a plateau for very short period of times. Like I tried the frugivore diet for a week, not more than a week. And then in March 2023, I discovered the keto diet. So I discovered the keto diet, and that was also like a amazing game changer for me, because with fasting I will gain like in mental clarity, but then as soon as I come back to eating, I will lose that mental clarity, and so I will fast more. So I did like for a good period of time I was doing a lot of fasting, because I really liked the ideas I was having, the inspiration I was having while fasting. But then it was a little bit depressing when I was like coming back. Then once I started the ketogenic diet, that was like kind of having the best of the two worlds, you know, because even when I was eating, I wouldn't like lose some of the mental clarity, and that was like so since I started the ketogenic diet, I had like a boost in my productivity and how I would feel, and I would sleep less hours and rest better, and so I was really happy for with the keto diet. And also it's the diet that I was able to hold on to the longest. So up to like 2 weeks ago, I started having the rashes a little bit before, but like up to like several weeks ago, keto was great. Keto and fasting. And then I started having those like rashes around the neck. So first I was like, oh, it's mosquito bites, something. Then I did some research and I saw this like something called keto rash. So obviously it drew my attention. So did some research and I was like, oh yeah, that's it, you know. And so I purchased some baby potatoes, and as soon as I ate them, then you know, like the rash will go away. So then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I went overboard with keto, but I was more thinking about like, oh, I need carbs, you know. I was not aware of the whole oxalate thing. So then after the person like posted that comment under my video, I started doing like some research, and then I saw that the potatoes, they were really high in oxalates, so that made sense. And then on the video of Max and Sally, so what Sally is saying in that video is that, so you accumulate oxalates with the oxalate rich foods, and as soon as you quit consuming them, and then the oxalate level drops in your blood, then you start dumping all the accumulated oxalates in your joints, and it's very painful, because it's like you're not really, it's not like a real detox. It's like physically you're getting rid of the actual crystals. So it can be really painful on your joints, on your kidneys and all that. So then I was like, wow, okay, that's great. So like, because on the last weeks of my keto diet, I was like, because one of the diets I always wanted to try is the carnivore. So I was kind of leaning towards the carnivore diet. So then I was like, wow, okay, that makes total sense now. So like I started going even more like carnivore. So the oxalate levels dropped, and I started dumping the oxalates. So that all made sense, but now I have more questions than maybe answers, because now where I don't know where to place the fasting thing, because if the Sally's theory is correct, so like, oh, the oxalate levels like drops in the blood, then we start dumping oxalates, then fasting should be the the master tool for dumping oxalates, And I've done, like the last like 8 years, even I started in 2016, so it's almost like 9 years of fasting. I've done like 10-day dry fasting. I've done 2 9 days. I've done several 7 days, 5 days. I've done like patterns, like stairs pattern up to step 7. I've done 2 of up to step 5. So I've been like fasting, but never had the rush thing, I never had the rush thing, but also like I've been monitoring my urine, and especially when I will like complete the fast, not during the fast so much, but once I will like complete the fast, break my fast, especially the longer ones, oh my God, I will like get rid of a lot of waste matter, like in the urine, really like heavy waste matter. And when you let it sit, usually it's like a snowflake like waste matter. But I also, when I use the same jar for a while, and I've been like getting rid of waste matter, I will also see some crystal like matter building, from the urine. So now, like, so I don't have all the answers. So if the theory of like when the oxalates like lowers in your blood, you start dumping them. Then with all the fasting I've done, I must have dumped a bunch. So what happened with that rash? So there is since I had the rash, and then as soon as I started eating like potatoes, it went away. Then I went back to keto. Since the new year, I started going back to keto. I ate like potatoes for 3 days. It went away, and then it was New Year's Eve. I only ate like, made a dish with potatoes, and the next day I felt really like the old me, I was really like foggy thoughts, and I just like woke up in a bad mood, and overslept. So I was just like, oh no, this is not, I don't want to go back there. So I was just like, even if it's gonna be uncomfortable, like I'm gonna go with the lean towards carnivore and embrace the dumping. Like even if it's, I have the rashes, embrace it as much as I can, knowing that I'm doing something good, I'm getting rid of. So that was my that was my approach. And it's funny because as soon as I quit the carbs, again, like I start having the rashes again, but it was very mild, and I leaned more towards. I almost stopped eating those like last 3 days. I didn't eat any vegetables, but I will eat some dark chocolate, and that I think it has a lot of oxalates. But I haven't been eating. I've been only eating like cucumber and garlic as like vegetables, and I've been feeling great. And the rashes as well. Right now, I don't feel anything. In the morning, I felt a little bit. At night, I feel a little bit, but it's totally bearable. And also that, after the new year, I also had like a headache, like a fever, but I wasn't sick. But it was like I could feel that the body was processing something, So I don't know. Maybe I did a big dump of some. I don't know, of oxalates at that point. It's hard to tell. But now my strategy is gonna be little by little. I want to try that carnivore thing, because more I'm researching Well, once I discovered the whole oxalate dumping situation, inevitably, like, I discovered all these, like, carnivore people, and they all swear, how to say, swear by it. So, and also it makes sense. Yeah, to me it makes sense too. I mean, keto was a big step for me, and carnivore, even though it's really difficult to. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things. I mean, in terms of, like, culture and for taste, and it's gonna be really difficult. But yeah, little by little, I want to lean towards that, and maybe eventually I'll be all carnivore. I mean, for me, there's no. I'm all, like, my main motivation to do all that. Of course, it's health, but I'm gonna do my grounding. Since I find this park, I've never seen it before. Really nice park. So I mean, of course, my main goal is health, but what motivates me the more, it's productivity and being you know, quote to quote war machine with all my projects. You know, that's what motivates me the most. So if by eating carnivore I access to another level of, you know, getting a kick out of doing all my activities, then yeah, I wouldn't mind missing some food, you know. And because before keto, like, I used to really like pizzas, pasta, Italian food, but, you know, once I went keto, then I didn't. Yeah, I mean, what you gain is so much more than what you lose, so it's not a. So I accepted the situation, and so if carnivore does pretty much the same, I'll have no problem going carnivore. But it's still, yeah, I mean, all those, like, theories, like, yeah, it makes sense, but I still take them with a grain of salt, because I mean, there's obviously a correlation. With me eating at least, like, potatoes and having the rash, like, and not eating them and the rash coming back. But maybe not. It's correlation, but maybe not causality. You know, that's and then where it doesn't make sense, it's that it's with all the fasting I've done, you know, so my oxalate levels must have dropped already a lot, you know. So why it never happened to me before? So I mean, there's probably, of course, there's an answer. Maybe it's like the dosage. Maybe when you do full-on, like, dry fasting, maybe you go to another level, and maybe because, well, yeah, that could be it, because you're, like, dumping it maybe more from the digestive tract, so the skin doesn't. Yeah, that could be it. When it's pure theory, like, I don't know it for sure, but that could be it. It's just because you're full-on fasting, so the body has other pathways to get rid of the oxalates, and when you are dropping the oxalate levels by, like, eating carnivore, but you're still eating, so maybe it doesn't have those pathways, so it goes more with the skin. Yeah, that could be explanation. So I wanted to do my grounding, but it's like, it's that time of the day where all the mosquitoes, they go crazy. So, and as soon as I took my socks off, they start biting my ankles, and this is the park. Yeah, it's funny, like, the mosquito situation. Like, during the day when it's sunny, there's usually no mosquitoes, and they attack like more like at sunset, and then they, yeah, they're kind of like, they're not very aggressive. Like once I, very rarely they enter my my apartment, and yeah, I mean I can kill them very like the mosquitoes very like very easily. Like it's they don't they're not very they're not very agile. And also, like, I live on the third floor, and I have my I have some little windows open all the time, and like, you know, for air to come in from the bathroom and the kitchen, and I almost don't get any mosquitoes. So like the key to live comfortably maybe in Asuncion is to not live too close to the ground, and then you will get. But here, like, I got really attacked in a pretty violent way. But and also they can transmit like a disease like dengue, and there's another one. But yeah, I've been living in Latin America since 2017, so far so good. And but yeah, it's just uncomfortable. So yeah, that was my video on the oxalate dumping. So it opens like a new window for me, oxalate dumping and carnivore diet, because I recently published a book called For a Better Monday, and it was like all about my fasting journey and all the tools I have developed and how fasting helped me. So I was at a place where, you know, I was just like, yeah, I have accumulated like a good amount of experience with fasting. I was able to resolve like almost all my problems. So I was at a place where, you know, like, you know, I have I'm taking care of business, like everything is good, like I don't need you know, in terms of health, everything seemed like under control until I got those rashes from leaning more towards carnivore. And last week I was like, oh my God, I mean, it really felt like I had to relearn everything, I have to question everything again. So it felt really, I kind of felt bad. Like I was just like, oh my God, it's just like, just when I thought you know, I had the recipe for success, now it's like, but now with you know, like a week of researching and experimenting, I'm more yeah, I'm more confident that it's something I can solve, and also fasting can help me with that as well. Because another change that happened in my routine lately is that, so the year 2024 I fasted for 67 days total. And when I say fasted, so my baseline is intermittent fasting. So I do the 18-6. So that's like, I don't even count it. That I do it pretty much every day. And then what I would do is, like, once in a while I skip my OMAD. So, and that will go from once a week to 3 times a week. So there's been weeks that I was only eating 4 meals a week. And all this like started with so I've been once in a while skipping meals, but it was in May of 2024 when I started writing my book. You know, I got into this like rhythm of like skipping my OMAD more and more, and I wouldn't dry fast, but I would fast with only like coffee, tea, and some sugarless electrolytes. So it will be a liquid fast with like very, very low calorie. And once in a while I will have some hot cacao with water. And that worked like amazing in terms of productivity. It was because it was liberating a lot of time since I'm doing all the cooking for my keto meals. So and it takes me, the whole process takes me between 3 to 4 hours, like between grocery shopping, making the dish, digesting and doing the dishes, and like the whole thing. So when you skip, like it's like 4 more hours, and when you do like that 3 times a week, it's 12 more hours. And it's not only 12 more hours of productivity, it's also you have better mental clarity and less distraction. So on those nights when I don't eat, I'll get a lot done. And also the next morning, like I will wake up more refreshed with more energy. And also like the fact that I knew that I was going to eat that day motivates me. So it was really good. So I went, between 1 to 3. So like I will just listen to my body. Like sometimes I'll do 3 for like a month. Then I will feel like I wasn't recuperating. I need to eat more, so I will drop to 2, then 1. But then once I finished like the Spanish version, once I released because there was the English version of the book and then the Spanish version, and it was quite of a process. I mean, writing the book, but also making the book a product. I had never done turning it into a product. I had never done it before, and it was kind of stressful because each time there's somebody intervening on the text, you have to read the entire book again to make sure that there's no. And as the author, you're like, that's your baby and stuff, but maybe for other people it's just a job, so you get line editing. They're pro and everything, but they can reintroduce the errors, and I was able to catch like some errors, and sometimes it's logic error. Like it's actually in one occasion it was actually what I was saying and what the line editor understood was the complete opposite in terms of sense. But the way she phrased it now had her sense, So it was like, oh my God. So then I had all this period, like I was reading my book in English and in Spanish. And it was really, after a while I was just like, I was fed up, to read my own thoughts like over and over again. And I was missing reading new information, from other people. But all my attention in terms of reading will go to it's a really nice apartment building here. Will go to reading my own book. So somehow when I finished the whole process, I was like, you know what, now it's just like, like the skipping the OMAD really helped me with the writing of the book. So once I finished the book, I don't know if it was a coincidence or if it was a mental thing, or that's maybe how life works. I got the signal from my body that now it was time to not focus too much on fasting and just let it be, And I had the appetite to eat every day. So since like November, I think maybe we were already like a few days into November. So November, December, I've been eating every day. So that could also be a factor, so it's just that my body in comparison to, when I was skipping OMADs, is just getting more food and less fasting time. So that could also be it, that I just accumulated more oxalates. And also I've been eating some exotic stuff like raw cacao, like the fruit. I'll eat the cacao beans. And I mean, if they say that in dark chocolate there's oxalate, like I'm sure that there's a lot of oxalate in that. So then, yeah, maybe, you know, I've been accumulating more, and then once I geared more towards carnivore, and I wasn't like skipping my meal, so the oxalate couldn't maybe leave the body from the intestines or the kidneys. Maybe they do it more easily when we're fasting. So they came out of the skin. So that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. In theory, it makes it makes sense. So now I'm just gonna go with the leaning more towards carnivore, and if I get the rashes, not like panic or anything, but just to be like, okay, it's good. I'm getting rid of, you know. So embrace it, and when it gets like if it gets starts getting unbearable, then I will introducing some oxalates to my diet to calm and just play that way. So that's what Sally Norton was saying, like, you know, like you gotta be smart about how you dump your oxalates, because if you cut, you know, cold turkey, then he starts dumping, and it can be really painful. So you kind of have to be like, yeah, hey, I'm living, but I'm still here, you know, like. So that makes sense, and yeah, a lot of the things I learned through that like fasting journey, it's always like there are a lot of like counterintuitive things like that. That's how like the nature operates in its own way, and so when I heard that theory, I mean, to me, it kind of made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense that it could be working that way. So we'll see. So now I came back to this nice shopping mall. So maybe I'll finish the video inside the mall. Yeah, this is totally not my neighborhood, but I don't know, like, you know, I started this channel recently, and my videos would get like between 18 to max like 100 views. So very modest channel so far. But then like with the video I posted like last week, I got almost like I mean the algorithm, the YouTube's algorithm, really like supported me for 3 days, and I got comments, and I got like almost like over 900 views, you know. So which is like insane for this channel, like for me. It's I have another channel for my music project, Black Sea Storm, and yeah, some of the videos on there, they have good amount of views, some of them not. Like I really don't know how it works, like so then I was just like, I mean, I've done something right, you know, to please the algorithm. So for some reason, like a stupid, like superstitious way, like I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the same neighborhood, I'm gonna start the video at the same spot. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the title, it's the thumbnail. I mean, there's like all these things, because I posted the video, it was like Saturday night, last night, and for a couple days it was like normal, like it wasn't getting a lot of views, but I think it was like it was on Monday or Sunday night or something. It started like yeah, it's I mean, the thing is, like, I'm not a YouTuber, like, and I really don't care about like I'm not doing this for views. Like I want to get the message across, like, you know, like of course, like, I mean, touching more people, it's interesting, but I don't want to how they call that, like clickbait. Like, I don't want to like play that game too much of, you know, the thumbnails with Oxalate dumping, oh my god, oh you know, it's yeah, I just because when I'm deceived, when I see sometimes like titles that are like appealing, and I go and then there, like, you see that it has nothing to do with what he was promising. Like, it's just it's horrible. Like, it's not a good way of doing things. And the thing is, like, yeah, I don't I mean, for me, like, the YouTube channel is to pass on the message and maybe promote my book, promote like so I have two brands about like fasting. So I also I have the product ready. Like, I have electrolyte powder. So the product is ready. It's in the fulfillment center, and we just finished the website, and now I'm doing all the integration. So I'm doing all the integration of, like, so when, you know, somebody placed an order, it goes to my fulfillment center. So it's yeah, the whole chain. Because first I wanted to go with the Amazon, you know, like Amazon FBA, and then for dietary products, it got as I was like manufacturing my product, the testing, the third-party testing prices got really expensive, so I could not afford it. So at least for now, I decided to go on my own. Maybe later on, like, once I generate some money, maybe I'll put the product on Amazon, because I'd done all the research and everything. It was all like to sell on Amazon, because it was there was a niche for that, and but then yeah, it was like, it seemed to be very expensive, like that testing. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go. But that means, you know, I had to build the website, and now I'm gonna have to, because the good thing about Amazon is that people are already there. I mean, you still have to put some advertisement and stuff, but there's already traffic there. But once you do everything yourself, like, I think that's gonna be the most difficult. Like, once I have everything in place, then it's gonna be very difficult to get people. And in that sense, I think YouTube can help, because, I mean, I'll have all the links and everything under all my videos, because one video can go viral, you know, and then before you know it, that's the best. That could be the best advertisement for directly or indirectly for your product. So that's why I'm going, like, yeah, the physical product, but also like the intellectual side of things. It's very important, like, because we have to know. With fasting, it's all about knowledge. So that's why I took the time to write the book, and I'll be doing like some digital products and publishing, you know, ideas, like how and keep learning, you know, like, thanks to the video I posted last week, I learned something, you know, from the community. So that's huge. That's really, I I mean, just for that, I'm glad that I started this channel, you know. And even though, like, at first it was very, like, I started questioning everything, you know. I was just like, man, I thought I was in good health, and I was like, I made all this progress, you know, like. But then now it's like, yeah, you know, it's like it gives this other perspective, this other layer of complexity and more things to learn. But everything is okay. Now I'm lucky. I'm not that lost, but like last week when I find out about oxalate dumping, I was just like, oh my God, what's going on, you know? And yeah, so this is the fanciest, or the second fanciest, or like one of the fanciest, like shopping malls in Asunción. It's a really nice mall. So you have all the brands and all that. But what I really like about it is just that, because I think it's relatively new in Paraguay to have malls like that. So it was last week after I shot the video, I passed from the, so you have nice restaurants, but you also have the usual, you know, like the food court, you know, with all the junk food and all that. And so I went there, and usually those places, they're kind of depressing, you know, like people eating junk food. But here, like it felt like it was like a fiesta, you know, like people were really into, like it was something, you know, like for them to go to the food court, you know. And yeah, there is really a good vibe, like people, and you see like people were talking from table to table, and I was just like, wow, that's great. Like that's really, once I heard, like when I first had moved to Buenos Aires, I have a good friend of mine from Denmark that lives there, and at that time he was married to this woman from Venezuela, and we were talking about Venezuela and how it was, and because she was like, she had like being in Buenos Aires, for her, she had like stars in her eyes, you know. It was like, it was something really special, and so I was trying to understand where she was coming from, you know. And then she told me once that when the first Subway opened, so the Subway, the brand, like for sandwiches, the first like Subway restaurant opened in Caracas. I mean, people will meet there, like business people, you know, with tie and suit and stuff. Like, you know, that was the most elite place to go, you know. And so yeah, there's a little bit of maybe it's not that extreme, but there's a little bit of that feel where, like, you know, the shopping mall is something kind of new, and people having a, you know, it's the honeymoon stage, like they're having a kick out of it, and it's great. Like it's great to see that, like that enthusiasm, like, and not they're not jaded, you know. And yeah, I remember that also in my home country in Turkey. Like that was more in the 90s or something. Like it was like when so I grew up in Switzerland, and so we had like we like McDonald's and all that. Like we had all that stuff, but in Turkey was I think it was in the early 90s or something, the first McDonald's like open, and it was like yeah, it was a thing, you know, like people would go like for dates and stuff, you know. That was like the, you know, the most American thing to do. And like so when you think of McDonald's, and I think in the US I never went to a McDonald's. Like it's like it was it's your worst like burger option. Like I don't know, because you have California, you have In-N-Out, you have, I mean, so many other, even in terms of fast food, great options like the McDonald's. I wouldn't even, I mean, it's been ages that I don't eat fast food, but back then I used to, and yeah. So where McDonald's sits in California and where it sits in other places can be very, very different. Like, and yeah, on that note, like in Switzerland, I mean, McDonald's, they always done a good job. Like it was really, it was decent like products, you know, like maybe higher quality than other European countries or in the US for sure. Like yeah, in Switzerland it was, well, I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's all that type of food. I don't think it's good for you, but I think like in Switzerland, yeah, they were doing a good job back in, I mean, last time I ate McDonald's in Switzerland, I mean, maybe it's like 99 or 98, something like that. So it's, I'm not very up to date for that. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching the video. I have a stand store if you're interested. I have like, you can purchase my book. It's also available on Amazon, but the digital versions you can purchase for a lower price on my stand store, the Better Monday Fasting stand store. And also you can book a call for coaching on fasting. So there's an option to book a call if you're interested. And I'm putting together like some coaching program for fasting. Like I'm trying to put something together and then maybe have a pack. But right now there's like some hourly coaching. So if you want to get started or if you have questions, you can start that way. So thanks a lot for watching this video about dumping oxalates, and I'll keep you posted on the evolution of this health journey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video, hopefully.